Well, hello there everyone. How you doing today? Let me know below how well you can hear me and how well you can see me. I know there's a slight glare with that window behind me, and I've been adjusting things. I was sitting a little bit more that way, like say like this, where I was looking straight back, but I could tell that was too much of a glare. How's the sound in here? Is there an echo or anything? Because I can't tell that, making this video, I can't really tell. If I play it myself, I can probably tell, but I'm not going to talk for 10 to 12 minutes and then start over again. So let me know what you think, and I'll tweak it as I can. Remember, I'm in a rental house, so it's not like I own this stuff, so I got to kind of make do with what they have here. And if you can see what my stand's on now, let's see. Yeah, there's one behind my chair right here. Let me show you something right real quick. Let me slide to the side. See that little thing majigger right there? That little stand? It's kind of like wicker, I guess you call it. Let me reposition myself. I got one of those in front of me with a kind of like a metal stool type thing, step right in front of me. Okay, and then I got my camera stand on top of that with my phone. All right, so if I bump it, everything may come crashing down. Hopefully not. And I got a cup of green tea this morning. And I'm trying to sit straight up too, because if I lean back in this chair, then I'm that way. And this chair is actually kind of like an outdoor furniture type chair, like on a patio or something. But that's primarily what they have as furniture in this house, is furniture that could be indoor, outdoor. And a lot of it, that's just how they did it. That's how they did it here. Anyway, I'm in the guest bedroom right now. There's two beds in this room, so it's a pretty good sized room. They're both full-size beds. I don't think they're queen-size beds. Maybe two full-size beds, and there's 5 feet in between them, and a foot or two to the wall. So this is a pretty good-sized room, actually. All right, and just there's a door right there, and there's the door to the bedroom is right there, and there's another door right there. The door to the side is to the guest bathroom. The door there leads out to the rest of the house, kind of like. Master bedroom is that way. So anyway, so that being said, I'll stop rambling on that topic. I am Mazske Finance. I'm coming to you from the country of Panama right now. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a CPA. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm going to talk to you about how you can become wealthy. And first of all, shout out to my friend Tim. Tim is someone I met here in Panama a couple of months ago when I was here getting some of my government paperwork done. And he has a birthday today. I don't think I'll be able to make his birthday gathering tonight, but you never know. We'll see how if my plans change at all as the day goes on. It's been busy for me here of late. So anyway, I'm going to talk to you today after about 3 minutes. I'm going to talk to you about how I'm still getting used to this whole camera angle, how you can become wealthy, okay? If I had someone give me this message back when I was a young guy, life would be different now. But this message goes out to anyone of any age. Do you want to improve your quality of living? Do you want to improve your lifestyle? Then if you do, what you got to start doing is investing. Now, we're all different. We're all human beings. We all have different journeys in life, different paths we're taking. Not everyone has a desire to become wealthy, but most people have a desire to stop working one day. And when they stop working, they don't want to have a drop in their standard of living, okay? So the average person no longer has a pension. The average person has to save up in a 401k. 401ks, what do you invest in? You invest in the stock market. I used to work part-time for the Motley Fool. That's a stock investing company. I was a stock investor for many, many, many years. I learned after many, many, many years that if you do not have a lot of money to begin with, yes, even if you have great returns in the stock market, it doesn't grow quite as fast as you may want it to grow, okay? But then I discovered at the age of 49, I bought my first rental property. And then when I bought another and another and another, I realized, wait a second, rental property gives you positive cash flow each month, as long as you run your numbers correctly. It might not give you a lot, $250, $300 a month, but it's positive cash flow. But yet you have to spend money out to fix the house up or the condo up, whatever it is, to fix it up, to make repairs, etc., etc., etc. You may get tenants that do not pay your rent. That's why you don't just get one, you get a couple, so you always have some income coming in. And if you do this while you're working, you have that paycheck coming in so that you're living on that paycheck, and hopefully you have some extra money in savings called cash reserves, and then you can go slowly and slowly just build up your real estate portfolio. If you're new to my channel, check out my playlist. I have one called 0 to 25 Rentals in 4 Years. Started at age 49, so by the time I was 53, I had a total of 25 rentals. I explain in those videos how I did it. I did not have a lot of money. I did not invest a lot of money in these rentals. What's the terminology? I reused capital. I did a couple different things. I used other people's money, OPM. I took loans out from the bank. I put 20% down, the bank gave me 80%, okay? OPM, other people's money. In the stock market, in the 401k, it's 100% of your money that you put in, unless your company gives you a little match. It's you're putting the money in. No one's loaning you 80%. That's called investing on margin, and investing on margin in stocks is dangerous. It's risky, okay? Don't do it. With real estate, it's different. Everyone knows about getting a mortgage. Almost any working American can get a mortgage to buy a rental property as long as they have a decent credit score, as long as you have income coming in, and as long as you're not living negatively each month and burning your paycheck off. You want to have extra surplus money that you're saving, okay? If you can show your lender you're saving money off your paycheck, that shows responsibility. It shows you know what you're doing. And nowadays, banks and financial institutions actually pay some interest. If you have your money in a low-paying, like a credit union account that gives you 0.25% interest, I think one of my credit unions, that's what they will pay. I can give you a link that, because I think I'm eligible to do it again, where you will get 5.3% interest. And on their website, it's with a bank called Wealthfront. It's an online website. Every day, if you log in, it will show you interest accrued to date. So if you withdrew the money, when they give you the interest at the end of the month or the first of next month, that interest to date, you get that. And if you took all the money out, you will still get that. Okay? And if you add money during the month, you'll see your interest amount will go up. Okay? Because now you're getting interest calculated on a higher balance. Okay? So 5.3% is not the greatest interest rate, but when you're saving up a down payment to buy a rental property, it's 5.3%, okay? If you do get that rate, let me know if you want to shoot me an email. My email is always in the description below. It's for 90 days unless you refer somebody to this bank, and then you get an extra 90 days, okay? All right, so something to think about. But in my humble opinion, I've said it 100 times on this channel, the best way to grow wealth is by investing in real estate. Now, I will be the first to tell you, real estate, it's risky. All investments are risky, but real estate is also safe, but it's risky. Why do I say it that way? Okay, and I'm not saying it correctly, but why do I say real estate can be safe, but it's risky? All right, AC is slowing down a little bit. The reason I say it is with real estate, it's risky because you may get a tenant from day one who doesn't pay you rent. Okay, you just put a down payment down, you got a mortgage on a house, and now your tenant stops paying you rent, and you got to cover that mortgage. Meanwhile, maybe you're living in a house with a mortgage, so you got to cover it. Do you have the extra money to cover it? You better have some cash reserves, okay? But then maybe you have to evict the person, okay? Maybe, like with me, I had to evict my very first tenant. It stressed me out because I had just bought my first property. Now I have to evict them. I had to go to court. The tenant knew what they were doing. They were a professional tenant. They knew what they were doing. And they hung on to the very last possible moment until they left the property. After court, after the sheriff's department came out, after they were given 24 hours by the deputy, they finally left. Okay? They left. I have an outstanding judgment still of several $1,000s. They've never paid me. They probably never will. Okay? And I'll never see it. All right. So anyway, there's risk like that. There's other risk you could have. You got to have insurance, right? Because maybe your house burns down or a flood or something. Something happens. Maybe the tenant stays there 6 months and they move out and they tore up the walls. I have a buddy who bought a house, and when the tenants got out, they had painted the steps like some weird color, black, I think, a gothic black, and they had painted walls black. They were gothic type people. And you can't have a rental that's black. Like the walls, people like positivity. They like lighter colors. You know, they like light coming in. Okay. So there's risk like that, but there's reward. That reward is the majority of tenants are decent people. I'm a tenant right now. I will pay my rent every month. The owner of this house, very nice lady, she will get her rent every month from me. I don't know what her mortgage is or what her expenses are, but hopefully she ran her numbers and she's making a profit as positive cash flow. Okay, that's the name of the game when you buy real estate. You have to have positive cash flow. And just real quick, and I'm gonna wrap this video up because I'm talking about how you can get wealthy. Real estate is the best way to get wealthy. One house at a time. Don't be in a race. Don't be in a rush. Just one house at a time. And running the numbers real quick if you're new to my channel. All right, if you buy a house and you get a mortgage, let's just say your mortgage with principal, interest, taxes, insurance, the four components of a mortgage, if you got an escrow property, excuse me there. Take a sip of my green tea. Green tea is healthy. Okay, I get this green tea from a company online. I forget the name off the top of my head. I talked about it in other videos. So say your mortgage is $500. It's your principal, interest, tax, and insurance. Okay. Say your rent's $1,000. If you're new to real estate, you might think, "Oh, I made $500." Nope. Hold on, grasshopper. You didn't just make $500. Yes, your mortgage is $500. Yes, your rent's $1,000. But you have to perhaps pay a property manager. They might charge 10%. You have to hold out money for three things: vacancies, repairs, and capital expenditures. Why do you do that? Remember, I talked about having some money in the bank, some cash reserves. Vacancies. If your tenant moves out, it might take 2 months to get a new tenant. That's 2 months. You have to pay the mortgage. You better have the money for it, right? If the kitchen sink starts leaking and the tenant's paying their water bill, they want that leak fixed. You have to pay a plumber to go out there, or maybe you can do it yourself. Okay, but it's a repair. You got to make the repair. If the roof wears out, or the HVAC, the air conditioning and see, I'm pointing up the air conditioning. If the air conditioning breaks, you got to repair it. You got to replace it. That could be a capital expenditure. Replacing the roof, that's capital expenditure. Okay, so vacancies, repairs, capital expenditures. You got to hold that out. I typically will hold out about 20%. My property manager, I hold out about 10%. So we take that $1,000 a month rent, multiply it by 30%. 30% of $1,000 would be $300. Okay, $300 we hold out. When I say hold out, maybe it's all in the one bank account, but you got to separate it somehow. Maybe you have two bank accounts. You got to know it's separate. Okay, the 10% for the property manager, they probably hold it out of the rent already. Okay, so you never see that. So that 20% you put in the bank. The money you have left over after all your expenses. Now keep in mind, you may have other expenses. Maybe you have to cut grass. Maybe you have to shovel snow. Maybe you have to pay some kind of fee to the city where your property is. I don't know. Whatever the expenses are, you subtract them. Whatever's left over is your positive cash flow. In that rough example I just gave, mortgage $500, expense of $300, we're at $800. You have $200 a month positive cash flow. More than likely, since I never said what the purchase price is, that's probably not enough positive cash flow for me. Okay, but maybe I bought the house for some $50,000. Maybe, I don't know. And maybe I have a 15-year mortgage. That's why my mortgage is higher. I don't know. But normally I want a yield. Remember talking about like the return? I want a yield normally of at least 12%. At least 12%. Remember I mentioned Wealthfront, the bank is paying 5.3% if you follow my link, if you email me. If I get topped out on referrals and you follow my link, I think you'll get 4.8%. Okay? Until you refer somebody, then you get 5.3. All right, but my criteria is on real estate. I like to get at least 12%. Maybe I fudge a little bit and get 10% on one house because I know I can raise rents. But some of my properties, I have rehabbed them, repaired them. I'm getting 15%. I'm getting 20%. I'm getting 30%. I think my best house, I'm getting 40%. Positive cash on cash return, 40%. Okay, and like I've always said, and I'll wrap this video up, if I can do it, I'm the little guy. I wasn't the CEO of some company. I wasn't a salesman making $150,000 a year. I was enlisted in the Navy. I was a blue-collar, low-paid police officer. I never made a lot of money. Okay, I raised up 2 kids. I have a wife. I've talked about this in other videos before. Okay, I never had a lot of money, but I always saved something. Some months I only saved $10 a month. Some months I've saved $25, some months $50, some months $150. Okay, every month was different. All right, but my point is, if you want to become wealthy, or if you just want to improve your standard of living in some fashion, you can do it. You can all do it, but you have to want it up here. You have to want it. All right, and if you do make it to the point of what's called financial independence, it opens up doors. You have more opportunities. Maybe you do like I'm doing. I'm living in a foreign country right now. I am paying for a house to live in. Meanwhile, I am supporting a house in the United States, in Florida, which until I start getting some income for it, I'm paying for that house. Okay, so I have two houses I'm paying for, which means I need to get some income from that house in Florida. It's going to become an Airbnb, and I've been told just today it's getting real close. They're just waiting on some stuff from Wayfair, I believe, some stuff they ordered for the house. Once that comes in, it's real close, and then it will go online as an Airbnb/VRBO type property. So we'll see how that plays out. Anyway, this has gotten a little long. Sorry for that. I'm gonna try to get back in the routine of making not daily videos, 4 or 5 videos a week, maybe. I'm trying to figure out the best spot. I've done 1 or 2 outside. I got this bedroom. I got my living room. I'm not going to do it in my master bedroom. I don't have an office. We do have a casita here. Maybe I set up the casita as a little studio, but then if I have a guest and they stay in my casita, my studio then disappears and I move over here. If I have more guests and they're in this bedroom and they're in my casita, you probably won't. The only video I would make is something outside or maybe walking on the beach. I haven't made a video walking on my beach here just yet. It's about a 7 to 8 minute walk. I am 7 to 8 minutes from the beach. It's a different section of the beach where the condo building was that I stayed in. I'll try to make some videos periodically on that beach. I probably won't make them walking around the neighborhood. I may at some point. We'll see. We'll see. I'm also, once I get stabilized and get rent in for my Airbnb, I plan to do some traveling in the country of Panama and outside the country of Panama. So I will periodically make videos from some other location where I don't know just yet, but we shall see. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thank you for all my new subscribers. I appreciate it. Shout out again to Tim. Happy birthday to you. And Mazske is signing out.